This episode is sponsored by Arc Raiders, where you and your squad can explore future Earth and brave killer robots to secure the best loot on the planet. Arc Raiders is available now for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC.
This episode's brought to you by Storm Lancers. Fight together, rise together. Storm Lancers is available now on PC and Nintendo Switch 2.
Today's stories include everything announced at the Game Awards last night. We got to talk about the Clair Obscur sweep and where was Xbox last night? Well, all this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Friday, December 12th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing. Adeoye Jr. Joining me is the master of hype, Snowbike Mike.
My main man, Bless. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Congratulations on a fantastic Game Awards watch-along last night. You looked very good.
Thank you.
Great suits. Great, turtleneck combo with that.
Yeah, but I overdo it. That's like probably my fifth time wearing that specific outfit. I feel like I gotta switch it up, get creative.
Okay. That's okay.
I want to keep people on their toes, though.
I like that. But you know what? For last night, you looked great.
Thank you.
Now you know next time you gotta change it up a little bit.
I was getting texts from people saying that I should compliment you on your outfit as well.
I wore my blazer.
My friend Zachary said the blazer sweatshirt combos.
Thanks, homie. I appreciate that. I'm doing my Phil Spencer. Keeping it light, keeping it easy. You know,
Phil Spencer rocked the sweatshirt hoodie.
Well, he was
blazer.
He was rocking the video game T-shirt underneath the blazer. You know what I mean? So we're just keeping it easy.
Hell yeah!
A couple of jabronis keeping it easy.
How are you feeling after last night?
I'm feeling good. You know, I think all of us are feeling, probably the audience as well, a little half step slow. We're 12 hours in between content. We literally went to bed, came right back to work, feeling good.
Yep.
I did stay up a little bit late, play some Pragmata. Then did I order a pizza and some jalapeno poppers last night at about 11:30 at night? Yeah, of course it did.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
So yeah, I'm feeling great.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of in that same place. A little tired, but excited to talk more about video games. It's a pretty, I think, good conglomeration of, I just made up a word, a good grouping of topics to talk about today. Conglomeration, where am I at? But yeah, I'm excited to talk more about Game Awards stuff. It's nice to have the night to kind of decompress, process information, come back, and we get to talk about it more.
Well said,
I think that's the nice thing about it.
Yeah, you kind of sit on that, stew on it a little bit.
Yeah.
I like going on Reddit, seeing what people were excited about, what our audience thought
That's
of it
also
as well.
fun.
There was a great Reddit post about you.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Did you
the
see
face I made?
Your
face I made?
Down your head.
I love rewatching it because I think that I forget what game that was. I think it might have been Faded Old Republic. I didn't say a word. It was just facial expressions from me. It was just all faces. It was a really good time. A lot of good reactions. Of course, you can catch up on a lot of those on social media because Roger's been breaking those out.
Fantastic.
Been doing such a great job over on Instagram and on TikTok, so go check those out. But let's not waste any time, because remember, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, some of your thoughts and opinions is YouTube Super Chats as we go. Housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. So today, after KFGD, you're going to get Gamescast, which is your Game Awards hot takes. You write in with them. We talk about your hot takes and debate them. It'll be a debate cast. It's going to be a good time.
Ooh.
And after that is Terminator 2D No Fate with Greg and Nick. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is Greg building his holiday hit list. What games can he and does he have to finish by January 5th?
Good.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, hit us all with some of that, because I told Blessing before the show, I'm a blank slate right now. I need something to play. I need some direction in my life. Coming hot off of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, into Dispatch, into Expedition 33. I'm ready for something new.
Hell yeah. I was talking about this the other week where I'm like, part of me wants to lock in on games that I have in like my 2025 backlog. But then the other part of me is like, what if I just chill? What if I spend a holiday just relaxing and not even playing video games? What if I watch a movie? What if I do something else? Nice. So I'm balancing it. I think I have a tendency to burn myself out on video games because I get so into it during the review season. Yeah. And so we had it where it was Ghost of Yote, into Ninja Gaiden, into Dispatch, into Keeper, and like I reviewed 5 games in the span of 3 weeks, and all of a sudden I was like, I don't want to play video games anymore. So I got to manage that better. Maybe I'll make that my New Year's resolution.
I like that.
Manage my energy for video games better.
Nice, Bless.
Yeah.
I got a little tease too for the next episode for Gamescast.
Yeah.
Saw one of your hot takes. Just so you know, did a little research. I'm coming at you.
Okay.
I'm coming back at him.
Okay.
But we'll
I
see
love
if that one gets selected. I don't know.
I love
but
that.
just know I got you on my mind. One of you.
Hell yeah. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney, the Psalm Twining. For now, let's begin with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 5 stories today.
Baker's dozen?
Starting with our number 1. We got a quick recap of everything announced at the Game Awards 2025. This is pulling from Chris Scullion at Video Games Chronicle. I got a super chat question for y'all. What was your game of the show? Let us know. Let's talk about it. Of course, if you want our full, in detail, game by game breakdown in depth of everything announced at the Game Awards, we have a Gamescast for you that went up yesterday. That was our reaction and review for the Game Awards. I wanted to have this story here just as a quick, hey, for those who might have missed it, here's everything. And then let's talk about everything broadly, right? Now that we've had time to process, decompress, and sit with our thoughts. Again, I'm pulling from Video Games Chronicle. This is Chris Scullion writing. I'm just going to go down the list, right? We had Star Wars, Fate of the Old Republic. That was announced. It's being directed by Casey Hudson, the original director of the original Knights of the Old Republic game. You had the statue, the mysterious statue was revealed as Divinity. We're getting a new Divinity game in development from Larian Studios. Coven of the Chickenfoot is the debut game from Bruce Straley's new studio. Capcom officially revealed that Leon Kennedy will be in Resident Evil Requiem. We got a new trailer from Exodus. That's the game, of course, starring Matthew McConaughey, being published by Wizards of the Coast. Very Mass Effect-like looking game. We got Control Resident, the sequel to Control that was announced for next year. We got the debut game from Yakuza creator Toshihiro Nagoshi, his new studio called Gang of Dragon. We got 2 new Tomb Raider games, a remake called Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, and a sequel called Tomb Raider Catalyst. They were revealed for 2026 and 2027, respectively. Lenny Kravitz will play a villain called Bama in 007 First Light. No Law, the next game from the team behind The Ascent, is a cyberpunk FPS developed in the Unreal Engine 5. PS5 exclusive Saros has been delayed until April, which they kind of they didn't say the word delay. They just said April 30th and acted like nothing happened.
It's a low-key date push. That's all right.
That's low-key kind of gaslighting, because I saw that and I was like, oh, we're wrong.
I like that.
I'm the crazy one here, because we all thought it was March.
I love that move. Let's not even talk about it. Let's just put a date up.
Hey, it's April. Don't
date.
question it. It's April 30th. It's always been April 30th. We also got Bradley the Badger announced. That's coming from this studio founded by David Soliani. Soliani. There we go. Of course, you know him from Mario plus Rabbids. Star Wars Galactic Racer was announced, and a new Mega Man game, Mega Man Dual Override, is coming in 2027. Some more headlines for you. We got The Free Shepherd, that's coming out in 2027. You got Decrepit, that's a dark fantasy Souls-like set in a grim, dark castle of horrors. You got Audio Mech from the creator of Audio Surf. You got Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity expansion is out now. A new region is coming to Escape from Duckov in 2026. Pragmata is coming to Switch 2. Solasta 2 is coming March 12th. Tank Rat is a tank-based action game coming to PS5 and PC in spring 2026. Stupid Never Dies is the debut game from NetEase's own studio, GP Track 50. South of Midnight is coming to PS5 and Switch 2 in spring. Capcom has kicked off a new sale on PC and consoles. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando will be released on March 12th. The first game by Bad Robot Games, a co-op shooter by Left 4 Dead creator Mike Booth, is called For Loop. Ontos, the creators of Soma, is coming 2026. Angels of Delusion are a new faction coming to ZZZ's Endless Zone Zero. 2XKO is coming to PS5 and Xbox in January 2026. Hell yeah. Order of the Sinking Star is the new game from Jonathan Blow coming 2026. We got Warlock Dungeons and Dragons, a new fantasy action game. We got an anime-inspired racing game called Screamer coming March 26th. We got the first new trailer for the Street Fighter movie. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight will be released May 29th. I'm going to pause there.
Let's cool you off.
Let's cool me off.
Cool him off.
Mike, I'm going to pause there. I've already said a lot of things. Is there anything you want to talk about so far?
I mean, can I just take all of it? You know what I mean?
Take all of it.
All of it is so awesome. Is this a Summer Game Fest announcement list? Because gosh darn it, that's a lot going on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you some of my highlights. I think you've touched on almost every announcement here, but of course, going up from the top right there, Lenny Kravitz was a highlight, a big smile. I think a really great way to add some style, a wow factor celebrity into your James Bond video game. Star Wars, Fate of the Old Republic got a big oh my gosh, out of all of us, Casey Hudson and his ties back to old BioWare games, Mass Effect trilogy that we all grew up and loved.
Yep.
That's going to be a long way away, but of course, that's an exciting name to be tied with a very exciting IP and project there. Going down, of course, Larian Studios has made a huge splash, right? People now know that name. They expect great things for them. Baldur's Gate 3 took over the world and was amazing. You have to expect that, like, a lot new fans are going to jump into this new game called Divinity, which I think they did a great job cutting off all the extra stuff, not having a 3 on it, right? And just saying Divinity, right? It's a new game. You're going to have fun with it if you liked Baldur's Gate 3. You know the studio behind it. Leon Kennedy. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? Condor 1 down to Baby Eagle. Like, it's going down.
Come on.
He's in there. I'm very excited about Resident Evil Requiem. I can't wait for that. Control Resident. I mean, that game was crazy looking. What an awesome trailer.
Super cool.
An awesome, like, live action situation to lead up to with the guy hanging from the top of the ceiling over the stage, then getting put into the box, and then they cut into the actual gameplay and, like, the game cinematic trailer. That was awesome and very well done on that. I think this Gang of the Dragons looks so cool, right? It looks very Yakuza-esque, but like an idea of like, hey, we're stepping away from Yakuza, new studio, you know the name, like, let's have some fun. Very cool stuff. I can't wait to see that. Of course, Total War. Warhammer. I told you, Bless.
Come on.
I love Total War, and the last time they teamed up with Warhammer, I dipped my toe in. Now Snowbike Mike goes fully into the deep end, and maybe I become a Warhammer freak. No promises, but I think this could freak me out.
That's your
I
next
think I could
Magic the
lose my
Gathering
mind.
right there.
Watch, I might start painting. You never
start
know.
painting.
2 Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
I freaking love and adore Tomb Raider. Crystal Dynamics has done a fantastic job with that franchise, bringing it to the modern age, making it special with that past trilogy. I've been looking forward to it, and the idea that we're getting 2 in the next 2 years, a brand new one in 2027, and a reimagining of the first Lara Croft Tomb Raider Expedition. Like, that's crazy in Unreal Engine and all that jazz, like all the bells and whistles. Yes.
Yeah.
Give me all of that and more. I mean, Bless, I can go for days because I know you and I'll bring you in. I mean, the Badger game. Bradley the Badger.
Badger game, bro.
Stop it.
Bradley the Badger is going to be my whole personality when that comes out. I love a really creative 3D platformer, and we've been getting them more and more. You know, like Astrobot last year, of course. That's Kind of Funny's a pivotal game. That's the game that defines Kind of Funny right there, Astrobot. And when I tell you that, like, whenever we get a new one of those, right, a 3D platformer that is doing something fresh, that is doing something new, or a 3D platformer that just looks and feels polished to play, I'm down for all of it. Bradley the Badger not only looks really good, but also has a personality to it, right? Is also doing something that's novel. Hey, let's really lean in and reference a lot of these games. Let's do the Badger Punk or the Last Badger or whatever they're doing here, right? Like, all that shit speaks to me. I think that's going to be one that's really exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I mean, some other quick shout outs from me, of course, the Forest 3. I'm stunned that we are getting a Forest 3 announcement after Sons of the Forest and where we were just at. It feels like that was just yesterday, but it has been quite some time, and now that team has something new, kind of more of a sci-fi setting than what we're used to with the Forest. So I think fans are going to probably talk a lot about that and be excited. Of course, Diablo 4. Whoa. We get an expansion and a new character class dropping out right now with the Paladin. Like, that's the perfect tease. Hey, we got something coming for you next year in April, but right now we got something for you to play. A brand new character, a brand new class. Go jump back into Diablo 4. One of the best Diablos of all time. That team over at Blizzard really brought that back. And, like, that is a fun game to play. And having a new class is fantastic. I mean,
we could talk about every single one of these.
I mean, that's a problem.
That's the
like,
problem.
He jammed it. They did a fantastic job this year at the Game Awards, from the musical numbers to the stage presence, the celebrity cameos, the awards itself, and all the recognition and flowers that we got to give to incredible development teams, to game reveals, Fluke Guy going crazy. Like, here's my shout out of the show. Fluke Guy went crazy. I know you and Greg were telling Fluke Guy maybe it's time to take out the limelight, but like,
I did. Yeah, listen, I said it kind of jokingly, and some people took it serious. You know, I fuck with Fluke Guy.
Fluke Guy,
when he took the fucking kitchen sink or whatever for the pipe,
he's playing the
underneath
PVC
the kitchen
pipe underneath your drain pipe. It's like, that was crazy. All of a sudden, he was playing like something as small as my fingertips. I don't know what was going on, but Fluke Guy killed it. The musical numbers killed it. It was a really good show. And you reading that announcement list, that feels almost like a Summer Game Fest announcement list.
Why? Just because the amount?
It just feels like so much, Blitz, and so much good. There's a lot of good in that.
To finish off the list I was reading, because I was actually almost there. You had the first global test for Rust Mobile that's now live. Force 3, like Mike mentioned, is announced. Invincible Versus will be released April 30th. Orbitals is an anime-like co-op space adventure coming exclusively to Switch 2. Orbitals looks fucking cool.
Yes.
Super cool. The second closed beta test for Animo is coming early 2026. Diablo 4's Lord of Hatred expansion is coming April 28th. Marvel Rivals Season 6 is coming January 16th. And Deadpool come to the game. 7 Deadly Sins Origins showed off co-op raid battles and a new gameplay trailer. Hogwarts Legacy is free on Epic Game Store. Lord of the Fallen version 2.5, the last major update for the game, is out now and free. Phasmophobia comes to Switch 2. Total Warhammer, the one that you talked about just now, is coming out. Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thieves is coming 2026. I didn't realize I could get hyped for an Ace of Combat.
That delivered.
For sure.
They went to each other and were like, let's knock them out the park with a killer trailer and let's get them excited. And like, I watched that, I was like, I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to drop everything and just fly.
Yeah. Out of Words, we got another trailer for that. Flame and Blade Zero got a release date for September 9th, and then finally High Guard is coming from Wildlight Entertainment on January 26th, and will be a free-to-play PvP shooter. Of course, I asked y'all to write in with your super chats. Let us know what some of your favorite games of the show were, or just general opinions. Of course, we'll talk about your hot takes on the next show, but I'm still willing to talk about whatever you guys write in with, like Jeff Bull Jr., who says, how do we feel about Mega Man 2027 releasing on PS4? That console is old as fuck now. Why not? That's what I say. If it can run on the PS4, I don't think that game was ever going to be in a place where it's like, this shit is pushing the boundaries. It's pushing the technical limit of what the PS4 can do. If it can run on PS4, put it on PS4, because guess what? So many people own a PS4. There's still more PS4s out there than PS5s, and people are still buying games for PlayStation 4.
I agree with that, Bless, completely. It is an interesting one of like, we are so deep into the life cycle of this PS5 generation that you kind of are wowed by the announcement of a PS4, but at the same time, there's still a large user base there. If you're able to scale it any which way to be able to play backwards on the PS4, then yeah, we're putting it there. Even if it sells tiny or if it sells a bunch, it's capable of running there. Money's money. Let's go.
Money's money.
Yeah.
And, Optic in chat says, so many people need to stop playing on a PS4, you mean? Listen, good for you. You have money. Not everybody can afford a fucking money. PlayStation 5. The things keep going up in price. So some people are just going to rock with a PS4. And maybe they should get some new games sometimes, too. So bringing in one from Science Dog, who writes in and says, with the Control Resonant announcement, I'm giving Control another shot. How long till it clicks? Mike, did you ever play through Control?
I have not. That's on my list. Now, the question is, Bless, to someone who has played Control, because I know you have, did you like the more melee focus? Because to me, whenever I saw Control and watched Andy play, I thought it was a shooter.
It was a shooter.
This one is like, this one very much was like, here's a sword, here's a hammer, and it felt very different.
I mean, Mike, you know me. I love melee action games. And so, if anything, I'm actually kind of more excited for the combat here. Ooh. I'm going to miss the service weapon, but I do like that you kind of have that same thing within the melee weapon that Dylan was rocking in the trailer. The fact that it can still transform into different things, it's like cool. We're keeping kind of that same energy of this weapon that fucking morphs and changes, which is really cool. I don't mind it. Yeah, like I liked the gameplay of Control, but like I really love the controlling things with your mind, right? The not telepathy. Telekinesis, where you like pick things up with your mind and throw them.
Yeah.
For me, that was the satisfying part of the gameplay. I thought the gunplay was fine,
but I thought that mixed with the gunplay, right? And
mixed with the gunplay.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what the fans think of this. I think we all can agree we probably have a lot of full faith in Remedy here, delivering such a stellar product. Like, I mean, the art style, the creativity, it just oozes cool with the red light all the time, the crazy sci-fi stuff they got going on. But like, does the general audience really love that third-person shooter, or are they going to say, I don't want to swing a sword and a hammer, right?
I don't think that matters to them.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm pumped up about it. Definitely a big switch. Seeing it at first, like, oh, I thought we had a gun. That's interesting.
Yeah. Kabobs writes in and says, Orbital is my game of the show. It has an incredible charm, art style that I can't wait to play with my partner. It kills me. It's a pure Switch 2 exclusive.
I wish that was out now. That's one of those games in the show where you're like, man, that looks like a ton of fun. As Andy dubbed it, the Haze-like.
Yeah.
Right? Similar to Hazelight Studios out there from It Takes Two and Split Fiction. I think we love these co-op adventure games. We want more of them, and the idea that like this is looking really cool on the Switch with that style, it's gonna be fun.
Samson XP says Bradley the Badger and Divinity both look great. Of course, you just talked about Bradley the Badger, but man, that Divinity trailer, I think they showed that game in the best way they possibly could. Again, for people who might not already be aware of what Divinity is, right? Of course, that's a game that has a core fan base, though Divinity has been around for a very long time. But now that Larian is a post-Baldur's Gate 3 Larian, you have the opportunity to put Divinity on another level now. You can make that shit mainstream.
I think you said it last night, like you could see that Baldur's Gate money clicking in right there, and it's like, oh yeah, that cinematic trailer was awesome. That was up there with the Blizzard cinematics, where you're like watching it and you're like, I can't get enough of this. Whatever this is, I want it. And yeah, I think you kind of know, if you're a general audience fan that hasn't dove into the Divinity series before, you could probably gauge of like what this is going to kind of look like from a Baldur's Gate 3 experience, right? And like knowing, they also said it's going to be their biggest game they've ever made, which is crazy because that's already too big. So it's going to be very exciting stuff.
And it feels like them saying that makes me think it's going to be a very long wait for it.
It's going to be interesting to see where we're at.
Yeah, they're going to have to take their time on it. Do we get it in early access?
Yeah, they'll do an early. I bet you they do another early access route similar to Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I think that definitely worked for them this time around. You saw what happened with the lead up to it with early access, people jumping in, then eventually going, hey, we are here. This is it right now is the moment. And a huge jump on. They've got best community support the past 3 years in a row. They still were adding things, big, like large content chunks just a couple weeks ago. So like this team is going to stick with it and give you a really good product.
Alexio Stevens writes in and says, I'm not a fan of turn-based games or pairing, but VGA made me get Baldur's Gate 3 and I fell in love. Should I give Expedition 33 a shot? Greg not loving it has me worried. If you don't like pairing or turn-based, it will be an uphill battle.
But they did play Baldur's Gate 3, and that's a little bit of turn-based, more strategy, you know what I mean? But you are slowing down the pace of the game there, so you're getting close to it. I think Expedition 33 has insanely killer music, an awesome narrative and story, some beautiful art style with the worlds that you're going to be going into, really fun characters that you'll connect with, and the combat is really fun from a turn-based, sit back, think about it, be strategic, to also, hey, snap, there's parry, there's a dodge that like I can be actively involved in to keep me on my toes and keep me engaged. It's a really fun mix.
Yeah, if you have, because is it still on Game Pass?
Yes, I looked it up. It said it was on Game Pass.
If you happen to have Game Pass, which I know not everybody does, obviously, but if you happen to have it, I think it's worth the try. Or if you are just really, really curious about it, I would say give it a shot. I think it's one that's at least worth trying to see if you can get into. I don't think it's 100% for everybody. Obviously, it's for a lot of people. But when you tell me you're not into pairing or turn-based, I go, I don't know if this is the one for you, but check it out.
Yeah, those are the two major selling points, right? Chat is chiming in like, there's a story mode. Right. So like you can knock it down if you want to just experience the big story of it all. But yeah, if your two big things are parrying and turn-based, sorry to say, like that is the game.
That is the video game.
That is the game.
D Jones 1495 says, why is Jeff never held to the same standard as other showcases for CGI trailers? Finding out FOTOR isn't coming out till maybe 2030 is deflating.
Man, that's a deep conversation there. I
guess I don't agree with the premise of not being held to the same standard as other showcases. I think it's what game are you announcing?
Yes.
If you put FOTOR, right, Fate of the Old Republic, as a logo on screen, it's still an exciting announcement.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it exists is a thing that gets us hype. It's not that we're judging, oh, this is what the gameplay is going to be by the CGI trailer. I don't think that's what CGI trailers are for. I think when you see a CGI trailer, that's your indication that, hey, this thing exists, it's happening, it's probably further out. I think that's just the assumption you got to make.
Yeah, and also I think it's just, I mean, look at the names attached to it with Casey Hudson. You also have Star Wars, right? Like these are two mega things that you would be looking at and deliberating with your team going, okay, should we show this? And it's like, yeah, that seems like a slam dunk. We have to show this. And to open up the show with that and get the pop that it did, having that, tied to Old Republic. Yeah, no doubt this is going to be on the show. I think anyone would show that.
Yeah. Are you at all, do you have a anti-CGI trailer sentiment at all?
No, I think I've been burned in the past, like many, where we see these CGI trailers and we wait years to come. But I also know that video games are hard to make. Video games are near impossible to make. And we see that it's getting longer and longer to make these games. We are sitting on games that take years to make and they get announced way too early. And that's kind of the delicate dance, right? What was the game that just came out that took 5 years in the make? I mean, Pragmata is a perfect example, getting shown a long time ago. Fable's another perfect example. It is the moment, it's the hype, it's the excitement that builds into these showcases and shows that people want to share their work. We also talk about it on the industry side of like Casey and his team now are hiring, right? And so now they're showing the very best in the world of development of like, hey, we're making a Star Wars game with this name.
If you want to work on this,
be exciting.
Come here.
Get over here right now. Now's the time. So like it's a double side of this, and I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it.
I feel like, you know, we always kind of give opposite opinions as far as what we want / what we don't want. Hey, I want transparency in terms of the games we're working on. Why is the video games industry so secretive, right? Like when a new movie is greenlit, we know from Variety or Deadline or whoever, like the moment the moment you get that signature on the paper, that shit gets announced or whatever. And I think we often ask for that transparency, and for us to do away with so much of the secrecy. But at the same time, it's like, well, video games take a long time to make. So if you want your cake, like, you gotta be able to come into it with that expectation of the reality of how video games are made. And I think, I think there's space for both. I think it just depends on the game. I think some games kind of, warrant that amount of hype and expectation. A Witcher 4, for example. I'll wait for Witcher 4. You show me.
You can give me Siri on that cinematic teaser, and I'm in.
And I'm like, oh man, someday we're going to play Witcher 4, and I'm excited about that shit. But then other times it's like, hey, saying a game is out now, that's fucking exciting. Hi-Fi Rush, you can play it right now. That was the right thing for that game, right? Like, I think there's levels to this shit. Every game kind of warrants its own marketing cycle.
No doubt. And if you're frustrated at these cinematics, it's like you have 1,000 other video games to play right now. You have plenty of time to burn until it's time.
And you manage your own expectation. You manage your own hype.
Yeah.
You can't get mad when you see a CGI trailer and then you form what you think the gameplay is going to look like, and then you see the gameplay and you're like, that doesn't look as what I thought it was going to look like. It's like, well, you created that thing in your head. So Chocolate Fox writes in and says, Xbox has their _directs, so I never expect at TGAs. We'll talk about that in a few. That's story number 3.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that.
Someone, Robely says, we'll see the downfall of Mike getting into 40K.
Hold on. Get a hold of it.
And then I'll pull in one more before we get out of here. We'll do this one from With an X, who writes in and says, I've been waiting for Jonathan Blow's follow-up to The Witness for 10 years, so that's probably my favorite reveal of the show. There you go. Mike, we're going to move on to story number 2. But before we do, I want to tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where you can go and get the Kinda Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad-free. Speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
If you live for high-stakes runs, tight teamwork, and that rush when the extraction timer is ticking down, this might be your next obsession. You've already seen us obsessing over Arc Raiders, the multiplayer extraction adventure set on a lethal future Earth where mechanized killing machines rule the surface and humanity hides below. As a raider, you brave topside to loot, complete quests, fight Arc robots, and extract safely if you can. Underground in Speranza, you'll upgrade your den, boost your abilities, and gear up for raids. On the surface, there are no rules. Swarms of drones, massive robots, and rival raiders make every trip unique. Choose solo, duo, or squad of 3, but rival players are never far away. Team up or take their loot. What kind of raider will you be in the Rust Belt? Arc Raiders is available now for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC.
This episode's brought to you by Stormlancers. If you're looking for your next great co-op obsession, check out Stormlancers, a retro-inspired roguelite with anime energy and chaotic action. In Stormlancers, you and a friend crash land on a dying alien planet charged with unstable magic. It's fast, fluid, and the action is non-stop, but this roguelite isn't about flawless runs. The devs call it Crash Out Co-op because the real fun comes from those chaotic party moments, like messing up, reviving your partner at the last second, and carving up enemy hordes with your newly unlocked powers. Invite a friend for old school couch co-op or team up online. On PC and Nintendo Switch 2, only one of you needs to own the game. Steam's Remote Play Together, and Switch 2's Game Share lets you hop online with a friend instantly. One copy, 2 players. Stormlancers is live on PC and Nintendo Switch 2. Fight together, rise together. Repeat. Play Stormlancers now. This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Let's talk gifts. Not the kind that get tossed in a drawer, but the kind that actually get used and appreciated. The holidays are coming up fast, and Shady Rays sunglasses are an easy win. Every pair is polarized, durable, and lightweight. They've got a ton of great-looking, high-performance styles that hold up no matter what you throw at them. And the price? Way less than you'd expect for the quality. And here's what sets them apart. If you lose or break your shades, Shady Rays has your back with their lost and broken protection. So whether you're picking up a pair for someone on your list or grabbing one for yourself, Shady Rays makes gifting simple. Quality built, looks great, and actually worth it. Start your holiday gifting early and head to shadyrays.com using code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Go to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Again, that's shadyrays.com. Use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. If you are a last-minute shopper, don't worry at all. I have the perfect gift that solves all the problems you might be having. No lie, Aura Frames are undeniably the best gift I've ever given, and I'm going to be sad when I run out of people to give it to, because I'll never give a gift this great again. Families, friends, partners, everyone loves being able to have beautiful frames showing off their loved ones and all of their favorite memories. And also, it's so easy to add the photos using the Aura app. It's set up to go right out of the box. There's unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos and videos as you can find. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi with no hidden fees. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code KINDAFUNNY at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support our show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Story number 2, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 broke an all-time Game Awards record. This is from Andrew Highton at Insider Gaming. Super chat question for you. Are you happy with the winners from last night? Let us know. Let's talk about it. With Clair Obscur Expedition 33 up for a record number of nominations at the Game Awards 2025, there was every chance it would bring home many of those accolades. Sure enough, the RPG cleaned up at the Game Awards 2025. It was a huge night for Sandfall Interactive and Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The surprise news that Clair Obscur DLC dropped through a free update was fun, and it rounded off a successful night for the mega popular role-playing game. With many of the Sandfall Interactive crew in attendance at the Game Awards 2025 dressed up in striking French-inspired gear, there was an air of expectation that Clair Obscur would do something very special. Nearly 4 hours later, the 2025 Game of the Year took home 9 of the 13 awards it was nominated for. This smashes the previous record of most awards accumulated in one night, set by The Last of Us Part 2's 7 awards at the 2020 show. In other years, Forza Horizon 5 and It Takes Two claimed 3 awards each in 2021, God of War Ragnarok took home 6 in 2022, Baldur's Gate 3 matched God of War's feat in 2023, and Astrobot was the recipient of 4 last year. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 won Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Performance, Best Independent Game, Best Debut Indie, and Best Role-Playing Game. Mike, you just finished playing Clair Obscur.
God damn, that's
33. Crazy. Yeah, fucking 9. And like, it could have done more if it wasn't competing against itself in some categories. You know what I mean? In the Best Performance specifically, which is crazy. Mike, how do you feel about all
well deserved. I am blown away. Here's the deal. Expedition 33 is really good. Like, great. Amazing. And it deserves all of the accolades, all of the flowers, all of the love. All of the nominees deserve a whole lot of praise and a whole lot of great things to say about them. But Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah.
That's how good this game is.
Yeah.
I'm willing to stand on business and say that.
I'm not here to hate, because Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is probably my top 5 games of this year, right? Like, it's one of the best games of the year, and it's the game that's had the most impact culturally this year, right? Especially within the gamer audience. Most people vibe with Expedition 33. Most people, I think, were touched by the tone, the energy, the story, the themes. Mike, themes, grief,
deep themes. Whoa,
deep themes.
Don't let me get started.
Don't let Mike get started about the themes. I think there's something to be said about how much that hit for people, and I think that's going to get awarded, right? Like, you look at these categories, and I think there's something special that Expedition 33 does uniquely, where it really is in contention for all of these categories. You know what I mean? Like, best art direction. Even though my personal pick is Death Stranding 2, I'm not going to sit here and act like Expedition 33 is a crazy pick. No, that's a fucking, of course. Yeah, no, that makes 100% sense.
Best score in music.
Best score in music, like, sure, would I have leaned toward I loved Hades 2 soundtrack so much, right? I agree with Tim that Mario Kart World should have been nominated and maybe should have even won. But yeah, of course, Clair Obscur Expedition 33's music is fucking insane and great and amazing. So yeah, like, that makes sense. I go through all the best performance. Like, I actually do agree that Jennifer English deserves this. Any of the performers in Expedition 33 should get best performance, right? And I go through best indie game, my personal pick, Blueprints, right? Like, I probably, or Hades 2, I probably would have gone over that. But again, can't get mad about Expedition.
Can't get mad at that.
It's an independent game, and it's fucking phenomenal.
Best debut indie.
Yeah. And so, like, I think there's part of me that's like, man, I wish there was more love to go around as far as like giving awards to other games, but we know how this stuff works, right? When you have a game that is the talk of the town like this, when you have a game that is this popular and this undeniable and ubiquitous across like, oh, everybody loves this thing, then that's how votes go. You know, you're the game of the year. So when you're put into any other category, you're kind of automatically going to win that category.
Should be running it, that's right.
Yeah.
Very impressive stuff. A special moment, one we will all look back on. For those who played it, they'll celebrate that. For those who have not, maybe they'll want to jump in and try. But also remember, your favorite games being nominated is a big feat. It's a big deal to be nominated, to be celebrated. That's what this award show is all about. And any award show, right? It's for all of us to come together and hopefully celebrate the games that we loved throughout the year and give them some recognition, a little pat on the back to say, hey, y'all remember this? Because that was a crazy fun time. Let's talk about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Charlie Maciel writes in with a super chat and says, how come no one is talking about Halo being teased for 2026? Do you know about this? Are they talking about the campaign Evolved? Or is there a different Halo thing?
I thought we knew Halo 2026.
Maybe they don't realize that we knew.
Okay.
Maybe they're late to the party. But yes, we know that campaign Evolved is happening. That was officially announced. And then JBC writes in and says, not gonna lie, I really liked Mike's breakdown of Expedition 33's ending. Genuine emotion from him. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think the team has given me a little bit of time to sit down with Tim to do a little kind of my post review / spoiler talk with him.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll really dive deep. I'm trying not to talk it over with him because my excitement is through the roof.
Nice.
Like, I'm looking at Bless right now, and I would talk about that ending right now with him, but I can't.
Yeah, I want to ask you like what you
I
did,
gotta
how
stop.
to go, all that
I
stuff, but I can't
do it.
Let's move on to story number 3. Quote, we'll have more stuff next year, end quote. After being somewhat absent from the Game Awards, Xbox boss teases a dev direct for January 2026. I'm pulling from Dom Pepiatt at Eurogamer. The Game Awards has only just wrapped, but we've already got another vague date in our calendars, January 2026. Per an interview with Microsoft's president of game content and studios, Matt Booty, in Variety, Xbox will be hosting one of its dev direct streams in January. Quote, I can't share exactly what's there, but we've got a lot of stuff that we're shipping next year, he told the site. In fact, usually Dev Direct is about highlighting what's coming up for the year ahead. This year, we've got more stuff coming up than we can fit in one show. So I'll tell you that Playground Games is going to be in the Dev Direct, but we'll have more stuff next year to ship than we can fit into one Dev Direct show in January, which is a good place to be, end quote. For clarity, that means we can probably expect updates on the upcoming Fable game and the Forza Horizon series, and perhaps a couple of updates from other games that come under the Xbox Game Studios umbrella. This comes after we saw very little from Xbox at the Game Awards proper, whilst PlayStation made an appearance with a number of games being worked on by PlayStation Studios. Phantom Blade Zero, Marvel Tokon, and Housemarque Saros all have some form of PlayStation relationship that means they'll be console exclusives. We did see a new trailer for Diablo and the shadow drop of a new class for the game, the Paladin, but besides that, it's been a pretty quiet night for the company.
Yeah, I mean, let's first off celebrate Diablo having a nice showing, a very good showing. So let's not forget that they were there. They also had a nice award as well. South of Midnight winning an award was a big deal. So that was cool recognition
They
there.
announced that they're coming to Switch and PlayStation.
Of course, Indiana Jones getting some love with Troy Baker. So that was cool. But on the announcement side, yes, when we did our predictions episode, I did think that Xbox would show up to this, right? We talk about the Game Awards being kind of the biggest stage, it only growing and growing bigger and bigger with numbers and viewership, where it's like, this is the place to kind of show your games, right? And we know that Xbox is set to celebrate 25 years of Xbox next year in a big way when we talk about Fable, Forza, Gears, Halo, right? It's like, if those four are to maintain the course and actually drop in 2026, they're setting themselves up for a big year with the flagship titles, right? Of course, GTA 6 is in the mix here. Any one of those games could slip out of 2026 and move to 2027 because really we're trying to avoid the mega game that is GTA 6, right? So that team over at Xbox, maybe they didn't want to pay $3 million to showcase the game. Maybe they're using their own voice, right? Like, this is a team now that has a lot of different showcases throughout the year, from the developer _ direct to their own Summer Game Show Fest showing, to now we've seen first-party directs. We've seen third-party partnership ID at Xbox showcases throughout the year. Like, the team is doing a lot of big numbers throughout to showcase their games, and they don't need Jeff Keighley. Of course, you would love to show your big games. I thought we would have shown Halo. I thought we would have shown Gears at a, Game Awards, the biggest stage on the planet. But, at the same time, next month we're going to see Xbox.
And that's my thing, is I didn't bring this up during the predictions. I probably should have spoke up because I could have got points or something. But, I didn't expect Xbox here. I think they put themselves in a weird place having their dev directs in January. We know that they're every January now. And we know that they really come out and talk about the big news, the big details, like those big bullet points happen at that dev _ direct. Now, obviously, would it be more exciting for Game Awards? Yes. Would you get more eyes at Game Awards? Yes, all that stuff. But I feel like it's a weird beat to manage around, right? With that dev direct. I guess I wouldn't even know, for you, if you're Xbox, Mike, how do you navigate that? What are you saying at Game Awards and following up with that dev?
Well, I would look at you all and be like, what happened with Diablo? It is crazy that we just kind of shoot Diablo across. It's is that some way we don't consider the Activision Blizzard games yet? I know we talk a lot about Call of Duty and Xbox, but are we just not putting respect on Diablo and Blizzard being underneath the umbrella lately because it is so new? But I would point and be we had a pretty big announcement there, right? An expansion coming out in April and a new class playable today. We were there, and it was a pretty big way for Diablo fans. That might not be the mega fans. Of course, fan Mike would say, hey, you announced Halo Campaign Evolved a couple months ago at the Halo Championship Series. Why not just get Sergeant Johnson and Master Chief for a quick buddy cop moment and be hey, we also are doing 3 new levels inside of the 10 levels of Campaign Evolved, and give you a quick reminder. I think that music of Halo would have popped. I think seeing Sergeant Johnson and Master Chief for a moment, maybe teasing what the future is with those 3 levels, would have been a big win. But we're going to announce everything next month. So it's hard to say, let's spend a bunch of money on this,
Yeah.
I don't know. You go back and forth.
Are you disappointed not seeing Xbox?
No, because the Game Awards were already packed. I was already wowed by all the announcements. I didn't need anything more. Sure, I would have loved to see Fable there, but I don't know what the state of Fable is right now. Yeah. I think Playground Games is going to hit us next month with a big 1-2
That's my
punch,
thing, too.
Right?
Is how much more can we see Fable? We've seen so much Fable now.
Some gameplay.
Have we not seen gameplay?
Yeah, we've seen a little bit, but more.
But we're going to see that in a month.
That's true.
You're going to show me another
deep dive.
Yeah, you can't show me another Fable thing right now and be and here's more Fable in a month.
And I pitched the Gears one, which was just a quick bro up of Dom and Marcus dapping up and revving the chainsaw lancer, right? So that's tiny. You don't need that, right? It's just they have a lot of beats already throughout the year. It is tough to try to hit those and make them worthwhile if you're going to spread it out everywhere, right? If we just saw something at the Game Awards next month, that means I can't use that, or you're going to say, hey, I just saw that. I don't need to see it again. So where do we really fall on all of this?
Fair enough. I also want to shout out, we got a tweet from @GearsOfWar on Twitter where they just tweeted out a key art with Emergence Begins 2026.
Big deal.
Yeah?
I mean, to have that kind of lock in on 2026, like I said, there's 4 big ones here. There's also Clockwork Revolution. Where's that at? Will we get answers of this is 2026
I really want to
or
see
not?
more Clockwork Revolution.
Diablo has that, right? Of course, there will be a whole nother Call of Duty. We know that, right? World of Warcraft will have some sort of expansion. ESO will have some sort of expansion. Sea of Thieves will have a big content update, I'm sure. Like, there's a lot of games here underneath the umbrella to try to juggle and give love to. But, like, 2026 is a big deal. 25 years of Xbox. GTA 6 is kind of eating up a lot of space. How do I make sure all of my games get the love that they need? Also make sure they pop off, right? Like, we're bringing Halo to PlayStation. That's a big deal, and they want that to really sing because they want a new audience to come in, love Halo and Master Chief, and hopefully have that. Gears of War is probably going to see a new audience as well. We just put out Gears Reloaded on PlayStation. Like, that's a big deal. You want to build off of that. Forza Horizon is going to Japan and is on PlayStation as well. That's a huge deal on that. And Fable, after being dormant for so many years, Playground Games is going to try to bring that back. And if I was Xbox, I need all 4 of those to absolutely rock and roll. And I can't have them hit by GTA or some other game. So now you're playing the game of where do they drop?
Yeah. Also, chat was coming at me hard about Fable. Apparently, we've not seen much of Fable. And so if we not, I'd take that back then. But
hey, if we see it next month, we're going to see a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to have to answer to Fable. That team can't hide behind just Forza. They're like, as much as we love Forza and it's coming to Japan and it's a dream come true, there are a lot of questions on Fable. That team is now being kind of split. I know they're big at Playground, but like, there's 2 teams here working, and Forza is great. We love racer games. It is a Game of the Year contender, of course, but like, you brought back Fable in a big way, and you're saying you're going to make it. You just also promised us Perfect Dark and then axed that. So, like, you got to show us Fable, and you got to make us care about Fable, and it's been a long time.
we'll see. Story number 4. Let's see. The Kind of Funny Games Daily Awards finalists are here. Of course, we've been talking about it all week. Kind of Funny Games Daily is literally nothing without the hard work of an entire industry. So we're going to celebrate the people who make the news each and every day. You nominated your favorite sites and authors, and now it's time to vote in our inaugural Kind of Funny Games Daily Awards show. You can go to kindoffunny.com/awards to cast your vote. Here are the finalists. For Reporter of the Year, we got Jason Schreier, Jeff Grubb, Jordan Midler, Rebecca Valentine, and Wesley Yin Poole. And for Site of the Year, we have Aftermath, Game Informer, Giant Bomb, This Week in Video Games, and Video Games Chronicle. And so again, go to kindoffunny.com/awards to make your voice heard so we can give some love to the people that make the news, right? The people that we get to reference on the show and say their names every single day. We also, of course, have a third category, Best Story. We received a lot of great picks for it. Our plan for me and Greg is to really comb through the write-ins and have me and him be the ones to vote on this category, mainly because the nature of the write-ins is very chaotic. Like, there was kind of no consensus, right? And they're all the type of write-ins that we got were a bit all over the place because I don't think we defined it as well as we could have, but we're going to go in there and make our picks for it. And also, we just wanted to be more curated in that aspect. And so go vote, make your voice heard. Shout out
to
the games media industry.
The games media industry. Shout out to both of you for some recognition and some fun. Shout out to the audience for getting their voice heard and recognizing some incredibly talented journalists out there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And also, appreciate you, Site of the Year, getting put onto some new sites. If you're out there, best friends, and you love video games media, you want to stay up to date, here's some new sites if you haven't seen them before to go click on and read more, learn more, get exposed to more journalists. That's cool.
Here you go. Mike, that episode's going to be a big episode. It's going to be fun to talk about. A lot of people doing it big in the games media side of the industry. But if I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news I need to know about, where would I go?
Bless, I'd take you to our last story, the We News channel, where we cover all the small items you need to know about.
Story number 5 is We News. Shout out to Insider Gaming in chat. It says, no Insider Gaming, say what?
Say what? Insider Gaming, what up?
I didn't know Insider Gaming had a Twitch channel. Hell yeah. Or a YouTube channel, I guess. Story number 5 is We News. We only have one We News for you today. Grant Kirkhope is making the music for Bradley the Badger. He tweeted this out. Bradley at David Soliani, music by me. He was quote tweeting a VGC article talking about Bradley the Badger. That's a fuck yeah. For me, dude.
Uh-oh.
I love using Grant Kirkhope.
This guy's got a backlog here.
Literally, like, Grant Kirkhope is one of my favorite composers. Yeah, he did Banjo-Kazooie. He did DK64, right? He's known for a lot of that era of rare music. And he also does a lot of indie games nowadays, a lot of them inspired by that era of rare.
That's great.
So,
Just
shout
did
out
Mario
Grant
and
Kirkhope.
Rabbids, too, so he's close with the team.
Yeah,
It'll be exciting.
yeah. I believe he did ukulele as well. Really, really dope composer. I have one of his CDs in my car for, he did a DK64 remix album. Not even a remix, it was like a recomposed album. You know, had like live instruments and all this shit. Shout out Grant Kirkhope.
This game is leading up to Have the Sauce.
Oh, yeah.
This Bradley.
Oh, yeah.
This got a lot,
Oh, yeah.
of good going on right now.
And that is it for Wii News. Mike, let's hang out. Me and you, we're going to talk to some super chats more.
Okay.
Have conversations here. Iron Crier 5 writes in and says, Mike, the Warhammer community welcomes you.
Thank you so much. Like I said, 2026, keep an eye on it. I am planning on diving in. I'm not going to dip my toe in. I'm going to dive in. I know there's a lot of games to check out, too, which is exciting. From, I believe, Bolt Gun to, of course, there's Space Marine 2 that we had last year, which we enjoyed. But there's more to learn and play on this one. Warhammer Dark Tide as well. So I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Just know I'm going to come back. I'll be saying some freaky stuff because I know that's a
Freaky?
Yeah, that stuff. They got a pretty freaky world. They're like ripping out skeletons. They're ripping out skulls. They're putting it on the computers. Now the computer's getting run by a hive mind. I don't know. I'm down for it.
Oh, shit.
I'm telling you, there's freaky stuff over there.
Decknor writes in and says, the Game Pass trailer didn't communicate well that it was showing games that aren't currently on Game Pass. It had stuff coming in 2026, including Halo.
The tough one about that is a lot of people tune out during what the ad segment feels like, right? And whenever you see a Game Pass ad, you usually slow down, maybe stand up, get your popcorn refill, go to the bathroom. Maybe you're paying attention closely to it. But like in a 3.5 hour show, I'll speak for me when I'm on this desk. When I get to an ad break, it is tough to lock in on an ad when I just want to stand up and walk away. So I'll have to rewatch that and see if there's any fun teasers. But I did appreciate the janitor cleaning up all the different Xbox franchise rooms. And then he went to the little grounded hole and he opened it up on the floor. I do like that. I do like that.
That's fun. Foxy Steve says, I didn't pay much attention to Total War or Warhammer franchises, but this new game does have my interest. Hell yeah.
There you go. Ooh, I like that.
I mean, when we saw the glimpse of gameplay, like I think all of us perked up and we're like, oh, hold on.
Hold on.
This looks kind of cool.
Total War is cool. Total War is cool. I like a good RTS.
Zeke Speak says, Pedro Eustace, A+ interview in The Verge with him. I got to look that up. Pedro Eustace. Oh, he's the flute guy. Flute guy. Oh, cool. Yeah, go check out that Verge article then.
Flute guy put on this year. Flute guy's elevated every single year, but this year he put on. And also Clear Trumpet guy. Trumpet guy, I see you. See you.
That's the person I fuck with. Clear Trumpet guy. We got to talk about that.
Clear Trumpet guy, I see you. And also the lady with the double piano guitar.
Yeah.
That were both like facing different directions. I acknowledge you.
Yeah. Chocolate Fox wrote in and says Xbox has their underscore direct, so I never expect at TGAs. We kind of talked about that already a bit. Let's see. That might be all the super chats. Oh no, we got more coming in. Iron Crier says, listen to Bricky for the 40K Lord dive.
Oh,
and so if you're
Bricky?
Bricky might be their Vati video.
Don't get me bricked
Warhammer.
up, Bricky.
On Blue Sky this morning, I asked for people to send me like, who's the Vati video of Control? Like, what Control breakdown can I watch? Because it's been a long enough time now since I played Control that I've forgotten everything. I wanted to be more excited for Control Resonant than I was, because I was like, wait, I forgot everything that happened in this fucking video game. It's been years, and so I need a refresher.
Okay.
Get me back into that world. I want to be dragged back in. Bam writes in and says, Mike, how do you feel that some games seem to be skipping Xbox, at least with the announcement trailers? Thank you for all y'all do for us.
That's an interesting one. I think we've seen that for multiple years now of like back and forth from announcement trailers. I think it's always funny to see the Xbox Directs, the PlayStation Directs, and then the opposite team immediately tweet out like, hey, those games are also coming here, right? And it's all coming down to publishing dollars, support on the back end, right? So I'm never mad at it, but it is something like you got to be actively looking, going, okay, was that game coming to my ecosystem? Should I be mindful of that if I'm really into it? But I think both teams do a fantastic job, always coming out right afterwards with an Xbox Wire post, PlayStation blog post of like, hey, here's all these games that were shown wherever. They're also coming here. Be mindful of that. So yeah, that's good.
The 5-star man says, have either of you played Riftbound, the League of Legends TCG? I played my first game this week and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I played quite a bit of Riftbound. I got invited to the Riftbound Summit back in the springtime. Played it for the first time then, really enjoyed it. And now like I've not played a lot of it since launch just because it's been hard to organize my friends around that. They're still all very Magic pilled. Yeah. And so pulling them away from Magic is very tough. But I want to play more. I have sets at home. We've gotten to play once since I've gotten my home set, and I really like this game. I want to play more of it.
I bought 2 starter decks that are still in the box. So one day me and Bless will play.
I was going to say, you trying to play it?
I got 2 starter decks that are in the box because I'm just jazzed up about it.
Put it on the schedule. Let's play.
At my local card shop, they be playing hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a couple of them in there that really want to make this a big thing, and they're excited about it. They got probably about 5 to 10 people who are in it.
That's cool. And then we have one from Gerald of Rivia who says, great stream last night. Love the turtleneck, Bless. Also, I'll need to make a BS, that's Blue Sky Tim, today to post the Gustav drawing for you and Greg. Finished it right as the show ended. Hell yeah, let us see that. They wrote in yesterday.
Your incredible artwork.
Yeah, they were talking about them doing the art yesterday. So yeah, we definitely want to see the finished product. Yeah, just hearing the name Gustav does something for you.
Smile a little bit,
Man,
he's like, what a character, bro. Charlie Cox.
Themes.
Daredevil.
Themes.
And see, I do so well not spoiling it because I'll shoot from the hip on this show and I'll just start saying things.
Can I say people don't I think understand how tough it can be to review games sometimes when you can't talk about spoilers, because then I'm sitting here like, yeah, dude, I love the story, this person was my favorite character. That's all I can say.
You are like Colin 58008 says, please don't, I'm begging you. I need you to know, Colin, you know me.
Yeah.
I hold this back, okay? And it's hard for me sometimes.
Themes.
Themes, that's all I can say, bro.
OMGLX says, Gaming University is where I go for Remedy/Control lore. They go all the way back to Sam Lake's early blog, This House of Dreams. That's cool. That's really cool, actually.
There all right, go.
I'll keep that in mind. Mike, let's hop into kindoffunny.com.
Really quick, I'm excited for Soros. Just want to let you
know.
Yeah? Yeah, I know you and Tim talked about like the co-op, and like that's where I really got to play a lot of
Ascension.
First one, no.
Oh, Returnal.
Yeah, the first one, because when they added co-op, I was able to play with Andy and really enjoy it. So, am I selfishly hoping for co-op in this one? Of course, but like, man, oh man, I am excited for this.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they delayed it because there's a lot happening in February.
February's hot. I thought it was March to April.
For video games?
No, for Soros before.
Well, yeah, Soros now is in April.
Yes.
It was coming out in March. Now it's coming out in end of April. But yeah, like we just got a lot going on in February, dude.
A lot going on
in February. Kindoffunny.com/you're is where you write in, let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong, so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. Kindred Bud says your collective lack of enthusiasm for Werner Herzog Warframe is empirically incorrect. Look him up. Did we have a lack of enthuusam? I don't remember.
I said I'm diving into the deep end.
Yeah, I think I said we should put it on the stream. I really want to play Warframe.
The Warhammer people invite you. Oh, we talking Warframe?
Warframe.
Oh,
I used to play Warframe back in the day.
Blessing and Andy are willing to play
Warframe. And I
Warframe
really want to get back into Warframe. First of all, who wrote Kindred Buds?
Don't put it on me.
Kindred Buds, you're pushing it. All right? I'm tired today. I don't have it in me to fight today.
Blessing said, Mike, put it on the schedule for an entire week. We will try Warframe.
Yes.
And when I do that, you better be there.
You better be there.
And
I want super chats and fucking donations.
You better be there.
I want donated subs from you every fucking day when we stream Warframe. And I also want to play Soulframe, because Soulframe looks really cool. You know about Soulframe?
No, what's that?
It's the next game for the Warframe people.
Good for them, man. You know what? These are some of those games like we talked about with Guild Wars, World of Warcraft, that's like are just going on for so long and have a dedicated audience and like have somehow served them so well that like it just continues to work. It's like, yo, shout out to that. Great work.
I feel like you would fuck with Warframe.
It's crazy because you know what I think it was? It was Destiny and Warframe came out near the same time. And I think you kind of, for me particularly, I only could do one. So I chose Destiny, right? So I never jumped on Warframe. That was also when a lot of MMOs were coming to the Xbox One. I'll never forget that. Neverwinter came, Terra came. Like it was like my dream come true because I've always wanted World of Warcraft on the console. And like, of course, that's never going to happen. But we had a lot come. and I was like so excited. Black Desert Online was there. Oh my God. DC Universe Online came. It was like a magical moment. And there was just so many of them. Too many of them.
This is what we need.
Tell me.
I'm gonna say something very controversial, which is a good. This is gonna be a good segue into our hot takes for Game Awards.
Here we go.
This is gonna be my hottest take, maybe of all time.
Yeah.
All right. I need y'all to just. This is a safe space. We listen and we don't judge. All right.
Okay.
This is what we need.
Lay it on me.
We need a video game Thanos. We need somebody to come in, snap half of video games away from existence. We got too many of them. All right. I know it's a touchy topic. We don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
There's too many fucking video games, Mike.
Wow.
I want to play so many of them, and I don't have the fucking
He
time.
needs to snap half of them
And
away.
it's driving me insane in this job. I want to play them all, and I can't. I need a video game Thanos to balance everything just right, and then go to a farm and then retire.
We listen and we don't judge, chat.
We listen and we don't judge.
We listen and
All
we
right?
don't judge.
I'm not going to say that again. I'll just keep that. That's between me and you, Mike. 'Cause if I say that too much, people are going to think that I'm saying we should fire all these developers, and I'm not saying that. What if we took all the developers and put them all on like the other games? What if we all just fucking?
What if we took all the developers and made them make Call of Duty? We can't be saying that.
What if we all consolidated? I can't say that shit. No, not like that.
We can't do
Not
it.
like
Wes.
can't do it. But like we all got paid and not laid off.
Yeah.
What if we did it in a healthy way? I don't know. Mike, that's it for Games Daily. Of course, each and every weekday we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and all podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy the Gamescast next and the stream after. But until next time, Game Daily.